Joining me now is former Democratic presidential candidate, former Ohio Congressman and Fox News contributor Dennis Kucinich, and also with us is Jack Kingston, former Georgia Congressman and Trump supporter. Good to see you both, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me kick it off with you, Congressman Kucinich. What's your reaction to the FBI this morning and the news that there's nothing new from his clearing of Clinton back in July on the emails?
We're going to be hearing about this email thing for the next year or two. The fact of the matter is, it is a political issue. That political issue was played out in the last week. I think it was very damaging to the Clinton campaign. And it is a legal issue, which it appears that Hillary Clinton will avoid any legal action. But the fact of the matter is, what in the world is the FBI doing in the closing weeks of an election, putting its thumb on the scale of an election? If the two parties can agree on anything after this election is over, it's that the role of the FBI is to be changed with respect to its proximity to an election. Have to stop this, they're weighing in the closing days of an election.
Yeah, was there anything, Congressman Kingston, that you saw in the statement that indicates that this is still open? I mean, he basically said, look, we don't have any new information from what we said in July. We've gone through the emails and nothing has changed. He didn't say this is closed, though. I mean, he must be facing pressure to make a statement before Election Day.
I think he is under pressure, and we have to ask ourselves, who do you trust more, Hillary Clinton, the FBI, or WikiLeaks? And WikiLeaks comes out on top, unfortunately. I think Dennis is right. This is not over. The investigations with the FBI really rarely close anyhow. He did not interview the maid, for example. We now know that Maria Santos, Hillary Clinton's maid, handled classified material. No one else in America could get away with that. You know, we have this 22-year-old Christian Saucy, the sailor who's now serving jail time because he took some pictures on a submarine, mishandling classified information, and he never distributed it. He never gave it to anybody. So this is not going to be over. There is huge bipartisan outrage on the Hill, and I think there are going to be lots of questions directed to the FBI itself and the way they conduct business.
Right, and the congressman is referring to, obviously, yesterday's news that we learned that Hillary Clinton had her housekeeper print out a lot of her state.gov emails from her private server.
I mean, just to be very direct, people that have done that in the past go immediately to jail.
Right.
Okay, we have people that have accidentally done that, they go immediately to jail. So someone has to explain.
So you're saying it feels rigged to you again?
Well, just explain to me the criminal procedure process. If you went to law school or you're a practicing lawyer and you understand the rules, you go immediately to jail.
Well,
okay?
Anthony,
it's like landing on that spot in Monopoly. Go right to jail.
And
so just explain why that doesn't happen here.
The bigger story, too, here is at Secretary of State, they built a SCIF, a secure facility within her house. And so that is only supposed to be entered to by people who are cleared. So the maid, for instance, unless she has a top secret clearance that we're not aware of, should not even be able to enter a facility that's supposed to be secured with classified documents.
Good point.
The big question at this point, given the fact that the election is tomorrow and there are millions of people who've already voted in this country, about half of Florida has voted via mail and in early balloting. The Fox News poll last week that came out that asked about this new FBI review into Hillary Clinton, 21% of independents said that they were less likely to vote for her. But 37% of Republicans said that they were less likely to vote for her. And so that goes to, do these people now change their minds based on what they heard from Jim Comey? Or is it just the overarching email investigation, the private server, the circumventing the authority, circumventing the responsibility to the American people? What moves their vote come tomorrow, assuming they haven't voted already?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. What do you think? Do you think it changes opinions?
I think that if it smells bad to you, then it continues
still going to smell bad to you.
Again, it's like the fish in the garbage can. It smells worse. It'll smell worse tomorrow.
Does it smell bad to you, Dagan?
Of course. Of course. The email server existing in the first place smells awful.
It's really bad.
The way that the Clintons together as a couple have carried themselves in service of the American people, or in service of themselves, rather.
You're right.
Bad.
Go ahead, Congressman. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say that the timing of it is probably a wash, and that the left is going to feel some exoneration, but the right is going to say, absolutely, this is rigged, because, again, as you just pointed out, emails that disappeared, 33,000, the use of bleach bit, the no grand jury, no warrants, no subpoenas, all that stuff underscores, almost a kangaroo court, a Keystone Cops, if you will, kind of approach to justice, which the American people are outraged with.
So then there's the campaign, which obviously today is alive and well. Candidates are crisscrossing the country during these final hours. The latest polls show that Clinton is ahead by 4% in a four-way race, gentlemen. Congressman Kingston, what does each nominee need to do in these final moments leading up to this vote? Obviously, they both find that Michigan is real important. That was a heavily Dem state, but now Trump is doing real well there.
You know, I went to school at Michigan State, and I can say that that's a state that is bothered by these trade agreements and the fact that we've lost so many manufacturing jobs over the last 20-year period of time. Our message of economic growth, prosperity, tough trade agreements, repealing Obamacare, it's something that's well received in Michigan, and that's why Hillary Clinton is panicked about Michigan and Colorado and Pennsylvania, and all these traditional Democrat states now look like they're going to be crumbling. If we win North Carolina, Florida, and Ohio, and then we have Georgia, Arizona, and Iowa, all we have to do is pick up Michigan and 2nd Congressional District of Maine, or we could do Pennsylvania in addition to it. So we're very close, and I think Nate Silver said yesterday Hillary is actually one state away from losing this election. That's how close it is.
Well, Congressman Kucinich, one issue has been the Hispanic vote, and Morgan, you mentioned that earlier. Hispanics are coming out big in terms of early voting, it seems.
In Nevada and Florida, yeah, absolutely.
So is that helping Clinton?
You know, my feeling is that Hillary Clinton absolutely is going to benefit from an increased Hispanic vote. You've got to look at it on a state-by-state basis, though. California already was going in her direction.
Right.
That could impact the election in Texas, although I still think Trump has an advantage there. Florida, you could see the race tightened in Florida because of that. It's a good thing in America when we see the efforts that have been made by Hispanic Latino leaders in the past few years to mobilize a vote and to get it out. That's a good thing.
Congressman, good to see you both. Thank you so much. Dennis Kucinich, Jack
Thanks,
Kingston.
Maria.
We'll see you soon, gentlemen. Stay with